So Atlanta traded Zaccharie Risacher to Dallas, and they basically got nothing back for him. Just Dort and Nembhard, that's it. Number 1 pick 2 years ago for Risacher, and they're already moving on. And everyone's kind of arguing about whether that was too early to give up on him, but maybe that's not the right question. Or at least it's not the one we can really answer right now. Time will tell whether Atlanta made a mistake giving up on him. What we can look at is the tape and what he actually is right now. He was the number 1 pick in a weak draft a couple years ago, so realistically we're probably talking about a role player. So I wanted to watch the tape to figure out what kind of role player. So here's the thing that's actually real, the shot. It took him a while both years. Rookie season he shot 31.7% from 3 before the All-Star break, which is bad, and then 41.7% after it. Last year, same exact pattern, 35.2% before the break, 48.8% after. So he's done it twice now. Each year, slow start, and he shoots it at a real NBA level in the second half of the season. And the floor is coming up too, 31.7 to 35.2, so the bad version of him is getting less bad at the beginning of the season. The shot's a little funky, it's not the prettiest thing you've ever seen, but it goes in, and he can hit it a bunch of ways. So we'll see some standstill, catch and shoots, coming off movement, which is nice for his size. He'll walk into one in transition, that's a real skill. And now he gets to shed the shadow of being the number 1 pick. Everything in Dallas is on Cooper Flagg's timeline. He's the future piece. And Risacher doesn't have to be that guy. And when Kyrie's back out there, that's an elite point guard getting him better looks than he ever got in Atlanta. The minutes will be there too. Clay, Najee Marshall, PJ Washington, these guys are older, they're not on Cooper Flagg's timeline. Risacher is the young one, the tall one. Less pressure, cleaner looks, more comfortable. That's really good for him. And hey, if you're into this kind of thing, I break down player development like this every Thursday. Subscribe if that's your thing. And that was the good part for Risacher. So you can see why somebody took Risacher number 1 overall. Even in a weak draft, the skills are there. He's big, he can shoot it, he moves well. That's a real starting point. But he just hasn't turned into the guy. And when you watch him, it makes sense why. The on-ball stuff isn't quite there. His handle's a bit loose, his hands are a bit weak, loses it on drive, it slips out, he can't always corral it, gets pulled from him. And the second you ask him to create something for himself, it kind of falls apart. I have one clip here where he hesitates, tries to throw a pass, but the guy doesn't work, and he picked up his dribble and he travels. Some of it's Atlanta not using him, but some of it's him. He's lost in the flow of the offense, he's not demanding the ball, making himself hard to ignore, not playing well enough to make himself hard to ignore. Just kind of blends in. Same problem wearing a different hat. You see him in defense too. He's a step late or he's not strong enough to hold his spot, so he ends up reaching and fouling on stuff he shouldn't. And here's the thing. If he had the even ball chops, none of that would matter that much. But because he doesn't, everything else gets amplified. The hands matter more, the fouls matter more, the build matters more. There's nothing covering for his little flubs. But after the trade to Dallas, the good news is he doesn't have to be that guy anymore. He's just a role player here. And the role player stuff, he's actually pretty good at a lot of it. The athleticism is real. He's a 6'8" with a just above neutral wingspan, and he can move. In transition, he's a problem. He covers ground. He's finishing at the rim. He's blocking shots. That transition block is a really nice play. And he'll rebound in traffic and just go with it himself. Doesn't need to pass it off. Does it defensively. He moves his feet well for his size. He can stay with wings. Puts his hands on stuff. Tips, deflection, steals, and he's active. And off the ball, he's smart. Head on a swivel. Spacing properly on offense. Cutting where there's a lane and finishing through contact when he can. He's in the right spots, just not always getting the ball. So the profile is a 3-and-D wing, and a lot of teams need that. What he's got to work on is strength. Not size, he's a 3, that's fine. But he gets moved. Guys who aren't the biggest still push him off the spot. Fix that and the rest's already there. So look, it doesn't look like Zaccharie Risacher is going to be a star. At least Atlanta doesn't think he will be. And I don't think it's going to happen either. Once you take away the number 1 pick thing, you actually have a 21-year-old who's pretty good at shooting from deep, who's big, who can move, and who plays hard. That's a 10-year NBA player. That's a guy who gets a mid-level deal for the rest of his career, helps a good team. And Dallas is the perfect place for it. Nobody's asking him to be the guy, Cooper Flagg's the guy. Risacher just has to be good at the stuff he's already good at. Atlanta needed him to be a star, Dallas just needs him to be useful. He's gonna be useful. If you like this, I do one of these every Thursday. Subscribe and I'll see you next week. Have a great day.